It's time to wake up. The modern society is actually brainwashing us and taking us away from what we are really supposed to do. Back in the day, we lived simpler lives. There was a stronger sense of community and a deeper human-to-human connect. But today, when you look at our modern society, we actually are beginning to question every single thing. Remember when conversations were more about ideas and less about emojis, where true conversations happen more face-to-face and not through screens? It is no secret that something has changed. Now the question is, how has modern society brainwashed our thinking? I've done some research on this, and in this video, I want to actually break it down into all the factors that influence our thought process. I will expose the subtle techniques that the modern society uses to shape the way people think. It also influences our desires, our actions, and our aspirations. In fact, whether you know it or not, it impacts our identity. If you ever felt that something is off and you're living in somebody else's script, this is the video for you. And when I analyze my own life, I felt that at certain moments in my life, I was making decisions not based on what I really wanted. It was based on some other thing that was influencing me. I used to be living a life of FOMO, fear of missing out, where I only felt that by accumulating more and more things, I could show to others that I would be a successful person. And I felt this peer pressure right from my college days itself. I could never sit in boring classrooms and going through classes the whole day. I never really felt good about myself internally and externally. I was being compared to others in the same age as me, and even as I was growing up, that comparison was there and that was affecting me. And then over the years, as technology started to grow, I was spending more time on technology, I was spending more time on the phone, more time refreshing the news feeds on Instagram and Facebook, and without my knowledge, I knew that there's something else that was controlling my thoughts. It was not just me. I would watch some news on TV and then the fears and anxieties would kick in. And I would think to myself, oh, is my life also going to be like that? And there's something that was influencing me. And I was also influenced by my surroundings, the society, the culture that I had to live in a particular way. So not just in my life, in my family and in my friends. And I'm sure when you're watching this, you're able to relate with this, that a lot of things that we are thinking in our minds has a lot to do with external factors influencing us to think in a particular way. The first factor that how modern society brainwashes us is the media's influence. Mass media, television, social media, all of these promote certain ideals and lifestyles and how life should be and all of that stuff, right? That actually influences our thoughts. So rather than get influenced by the media, if you can be clear on what kind of a life that you want to live, and you use some critical filters before you believe anything that comes out there, and you match it back to your true values in your life, you'll be able to overcome this one problem of media's influence on you. In fact, what I've done is for many, many years, I don't have a newspaper, we don't watch the news at home. In fact, even soap operas and TV serials and all that stuff, anything that's very dramatic and melodrama stuff, I don't even consume that information. So when you control the inputs of the information getting into your system, and when you're using a critical filter based on what you want in your life, you have that protective mechanism from being brainwashed. The second way that the modern society brainwashes you is the consumerism culture. Today we are seeing people being bombarded by ads excessively for buying all kinds of things, where marketers are smart enough to really bring in emotion with the ads, where people feel that only if they buy that product, they're going to be fulfilled as a person. So this whole concept of excessive consumerism and accumulating material possessions to really bring up the status in society, and people feel that being the only way to show to the world that you're good enough, is a very, very big brainwashing technique. And the solution to this is to really adopt a lifestyle of minimalism and sustainable living. That's what I've done for myself. Like, I don't like to buy too many things, but if I buy something, I like to buy the best. And just because somebody else has bought that thing, I don't want to buy it unless I know it is useful and beneficial for me. So adopting this concept of having less and doing more has really helped me make peace with myself on this one point, and not getting brainwashed just when I see an ad or when I see somebody showcasing something that's really good. First, I'll ask myself, do I really need that? Second thing is it really going to make a difference to my life? Two is it controlling my emotions, or are my emotions higher than that? And once I have those critical thinking filters on, it's easy for me to resist that temptation. And in fact, if I see something, I don't buy it immediately. I wait for 3-4 days. And if I still have that logical thing that yes, this can be beneficial for me, only then I go and buy it. Don't get into impulsive buying. That's my point to you. The third way on how modern society brainwashes you is through societal peer pressure. Let's say if everybody is doing one thing, then everybody else wants to follow that. It's like the blind leading the blind. This is also called sheep mentality. Now, let's say you watch a YouTube video that has, say, 5 million views. Maybe the content in the video is not really relevant or it's not propagating good information, but suddenly for a third person, when they see like 5 million views, that social proof builds the confidence in that person that, okay, maybe that is right. So the solution to succumbing to this peer pressure is to build your own self-esteem. It is to judge things from what you feel is the right thing for you and for your family. And it is to also make decisions where it's a win-win-win for anyone. The fourth way modern society brainwashes us at a very core level is our education system. There is a whole queue, waiting line or waiting list right from pregnancy, where people have to book their admission into a particular school so they can get into that small group school. And then that race continues. It's like a rat race, right from kindergarten all the way to college, all the way to these big, schools that are there and for people to get their degrees and postgraduates and masters. The rat race is right through, and there's an insane amount of brainwashing and programming that happens at this level, where the genius that is there in the child is actually covered and not really brought out. As humans, there are 4 dimensions that we need to learn. There is mental, physical, emotional, and spiritual. The formal education system is only focusing on mental side of the game. It's only focused on memorization-based learning, whereas they don't talk about the other aspects of life that are successful. And that is why, due to that brainwashing, what happens is by the time a kid enters school and comes into college, whatever genius that they had in them would have been fully covered, and they have to just focus on life responsibilities, go to school, get a good job, fall in line with the system, but not really bring out the best that's inside them. So the only solution to this is to really create a new breed of teachers, which is what I'm doing. I want to create an army of teachers and leaders and mentors or implementers who can build communities and handhold these students and help them achieve what they really want in their life. Formal education system is built on the foundation of memorization and volume of information. The digital coaching process, what I teach, is based on the principle of simplification and gamification and helping people reach their goals much faster. If you can help people reach their goals faster, there's nothing better than that. In fact, when you click on the link in the description and attend my next webinar, you'll be actually able to learn how you can take your knowledge and help others with your knowledge. And we need more teachers like this who give the real stuff and bring out the best out of people. The word education comes from the word educe, is to bring out, not to jam information into people. Another way modern society brainwashes us is through political and ideological biases. Media and education sometimes subtly pushes us towards specific political ideologies. And some of these also move the people into very narrow-minded thinking. So the only way to overcome this is to develop critical thinking skills. And critical thinking that is on the foundation of a strong value system. Number one is it going to be useful and beneficial for others? Is it going to be useful and beneficial for the organization? It's going to be useful and beneficial for you. The win-win-win model, I would say that is the only foundation to ensuring that whatever is going to your mind, whatever information you're consuming, whether it's going to be working or not. Another way modern society brainwashes us is when it comes to beauty standards. Unrealistic beauty standards, body image, the way that media portrays who is beautiful, who is the most sought after. All of these beauty standards are set so high that it also impacts the masses' self-image. Whether you know it or not, it actually promotes this feeling of inadequacy in people. I'm not good enough. I'm not beautiful enough. I can be better than this. So the solution to this is to appreciate yourself for who you are. Yes, you can improve yourself. There's no doubts, because improvisation is a continuous process. But don't put yourself down just because the standards are so high above that. You go into the real lives of these models and superstars and see what that real life is. It is not what is showcased outside over there. There is the real life and there's a real life. So don't worry about all those things, but be aware of how it is influencing you. If you feel that you want to buy a t-shirt or something, or a cosmetic or some kind of product that you feel will make you improve your confidence, go and do that. But don't put yourself down in comparison to others, that just because somebody else is more beautiful, looking much better, the beauty standards are too high, that you are not good enough. everybody is unique in this world. Another way modern society brainwashes us is through social comparisons. Comparing yourself with others on social media specifically, and looking at that real life and thinking that, okay, wow, they're living such an amazing life, my life sucks, and like getting into that particular mode, and you move in that downward spiral. And sometimes this also leads to anxiety and depression, and you get addicted to the news feed, and you're just scrolling, and you're just looking at many other people who are doing amazingly well and posting content, and all these creators out there. And you'll never know, many of these creators, I know actually many of these creators, what they're showcasing online, that's not how their real life is. They also have their own anxieties and fears and insecurities and different kinds of issues that they're going through. So the solution to overcome this is to regularly digitally detox yourself. Like for me, 25 days I go for a digital detox. And even on my phone right now, if you ask me, like I don't have many apps on my phone. I only have like 4 applications on my phone. I've deleted everything, and I don't really log into social media, and I've removed all notifications because I don't want to get distracted. I don't want my phone to just be buzzing and popping up things every second, which is affecting the way that I think. Ever since I did that, my life got much easier. Trust me, this one idea I'm giving you right now will help you overcome all the brainwashing that's happening through social media. Another way modern society brainwashes us is all in the workplace expectations, especially in the corporate world. And the root of this starts from our schooling system, where you're said that you have to score good marks to get a good job. Then you go and get that good job, and there's a ladder over there. There's a corporate ladder that you have to climb. And there's a lot of red tape, politics, office politics, and a whole bunch of other stuff that is there in that package that you need to go through to really work your way up. Now, this is also a way of brainwashing through modern society, where you have to really put yourself and feel that it's like a survival of the fittest game. It's a rat race, and you're willing to do anything and everything to put other people down to work your way up. And that's not very healthy in the society. And at a conscious and subconscious way, this is what is being programmed in the world, right from kindergarten all the way to the corporate world. And that's why I'm not for that formal education system thought process when it comes to ranks and marks and stuff like that, because everybody has a genius in them. Everybody's unique. Everybody has a unique potential that's there in them that they're not tapping into. So the only way to overcome this programming is to help people align more with what they really want to do in life. And most people don't have a clue. Again, my recommendation to you here is click on that link on the link in the description and attend my next webinar, where I will teach you step by step on how you can take your passion, whatever you have, and convert that into a super profitable business in the next 90 days to 6 months if you follow my steps. Another way that modern society is brainwashing us is through technology addictions. Not just social media, but all other technologies. Sometimes this over-reliance on technology and less human-to-human interactions also puts people in a bubble that they can't really get out. So bringing about a mindful usage in technology, having offline hobbies, doing other things that not gets you addicted to these online gadgets, that's going to be helping you live a much better life that's not going to be brainwashing you. Another way modern society brainwashes us is through fear-based news. And I've already mentioned this before. News channels, they pretty much ride on the negative news that attracts more people to watch those news, that gets them more ratings and TRP ratings. And pretty much as human psychology, that's what attracts us. When there's a negative news, we want to know more about it. And this is a big problem because it leads to heightened anxiety. And even during the COVID times, there were so many people who were just stuck to the news and living in that fear and anxiety, and some of them even lost their lives because of being in that zone. So the solution to this is to be aware of what is going on in the world, but not consuming yourself completely into the drama of the news or just endlessly watching news the whole day and stuff like that. Cut yourself off. Know what you're supposed to know to do what you're supposed to do, but don't get consumed in it. Now the question you may ask is, how do you protect yourself from being brainwashed by overall all these things that are happening? And I'm going to give you a few practical and tangible actions and solutions. Number 1 is self-awareness. Understand what you really want. Be clear about your goals. Also make a list of the things that are not conducive and helpful for you, and make a list of a not to-do list also. Most of us people, we have to-do lists, but also have a not to-do list. 2 is critical thinking. Always have your own filters based on what you really want in life before you believe anything or consume anything. Number 3 is diversify your information sources. Don't rely just on one piece of information. Look at other things and you'll get a different perspective, because don't be quick to believe whatever you hear. Number 4 is media literacy. Actually learn how to consume media and be very sure about who you're getting the information from based on their value system. Number 5, question the authorities. Don't blindly follow anyone. Do it in the right way where you're able to get clarity and the logic behind it before you step into it. In any case, whether it's a political situation or a religious situation or whatever may be the case, ask the right questions, get the clarity and logic without challenging it. Get clarity and then make a decision for yourself. Next is cultivate individual values. Know what are your core values. Like for me, my core values are family, spirituality, service to community, and freedom. These are my top values. And because of these values, I'm able to attract people with the similar values, and I'm able to learn information to really accelerate or grow the value systems that I already have. Another thing you can do is get into mindfulness and meditation, anything that can help you calm your mind down from all of that, the toxification that is there in the world, digital toxification, so much of information overload. You have to calm it down. Otherwise, you'll be like a stormy sea inside your mind. You have to calm that down through this process. Another thing that you can do is limit your screen time. On your phone, there are different tracking metrics where you can actually see what is your screen time on a daily basis and see if you can cut it down as much as possible by deleting all the apps and all the pop-ups. Another thing that you can do is engage in critical conversations with people who you value and whom you trust. Because what happens is when you don't have open debates and conversations with people who you like and trust, it will start to build different perceptions. I remember during my school and college days, we used to read the Bhagavad Gita in college groups. We would read a verse, we would read the translation, we would read the purport, and then we would actually debate and discuss about it in a healthy and in a constructive way. That has actually helped me get new perspectives from the other person and not just have my own biases when it comes to accepting a philosophy. So engaging in critical conversations help you expand your awareness of the world. Another thing that you can do is take breaks. Don't be working all the time. Take a break. Like for me, once in a year, I go for a 25-day detox, completely detox. I take care of my body, go through a Panchakarma, Ayurvedic treatment. And so whatever works for you, sometimes the best work happens outside work. So cut yourself off and take those breaks. Another thing that you can do is set healthy boundaries for yourself. Don't allow anybody to just intrude your space. Make sure that you are having your space and you set the boundaries so that nobody takes you for granted. Another important thing is self-care. Take care of your sleep, your nutrition, the food, the health, your overall grooming. All of these things help you have a much more clearer thought process before consuming any information. Another thing, seek support. If you feel that you're lacking in some area, get a mentor, join a community. And as I mentioned, I would love to have you a part of my community. When you click on the link below, register for my webinar, you learn more about that and you can be a part of a group of like-minded action takers and achievers. And finally, if you want to prevent yourself from being brainwashed in modern society, it should be a lifelong learner. Keep learning new things, keep getting new perspectives, books, podcasts, videos like this. In fact, keep coming back to my YouTube videos, subscribe to this channel, because every week I publish 2 videos where I go deep, I do research, and I want to give you clear and crisp information that can help you make progress in your life. So keep coming back to this and be a lifelong learner, and you'll never know, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years from now, you watching this video, you'll have a much clearer thought to make the decisions that you really want without getting affected by what the society thinks that you should be doing. There are a lot of positives that are happening in the world, but there are also a lot of negatives, and a lot of biases that are there. And it's important that you live the life that you really want to live. Design your life. As I mentioned before, if you don't design your life, and if you don't have these critical filters, you will be in somebody else's design, and you don't have the remote control. Let the remote control be in your hands. All the best. Catch you in the next video, and share your comments below. Bye-bye.